Aftercare. It's important in more ways than one. You want your clients to be happy after every tattoo, especially when it comes to healing. But what products work? What products should you use? And what is next in the world of numbing creams? Today, we talk to expert Scott Martin from Ikonik to get his view. Join us on today's episode of the Ink Different Tattoos podcast. Welcome to the Ink Different Tattoos podcast. I'm your co-host, Paul-Anthony Surdi, and with me here is Chico Cortez and
Gabe Jaksich.
And we are very happy that you're joining us today. We're in Orlando, Florida, and we have Scott Martin with us.
How you guys doing?
By the way, it's cold outside. That's why we're wearing all this stuff, okay?
Yeah, it's a trip.
We're not in Miami anymore.
It's definitely a trip. And I'm so happy that we're here with you. You're very close to here, which is great, right? And you inspired us to come here because you're into so many things, right? I mean, you've got shops, you've got aftercare, you've got numbing care. I mean, you're really up to stuff, man.
Yeah.
So, but how did you get started in tattooing? What was your first entry point?
I was 15 and a half. My boy was an apprentice in a shop in Reading, Pennsylvania. And one summer, he's like, bro, I know you can tattoo. You can, draw. I did skateboard art. I was a skater and a surfer my whole life. So I did lots of skateboard, surfboard, stuff like that. And one day I did a tattoo on him, and he went and showed the guy that he worked for, and the guy's like, that was his first tattoo, and it was just like something that was natural to me. I moved down to Maryland to finish out high school, and there was a place called Underground Tattoo right outside of Patuxent Naval Air Station, and Wayne Pike owned it, and I ended up starting there with him, and I was there for almost 5 years. Started with basically him more into the tattoo industry part of it. Like my first convention was Richmond, 93, 94. So I've been doing conventions that long.
Solid. And then Chico, you and Scott knew each other? Or
God,
each other,
yeah.
right? How did that first?
Conventions, seeing each other.
I think I met Scotty. I don't even remember where I met you. I just know we hit it off. He was a cool fucking guy. And honestly, there wasn't too many guys back then with multiple shops or with at least shops with a name behind it without the attitude or the arrogance. And he was an upstanding dude. And, we just hit it off. And he surprised me with Ikonik. And then he doesn't stop. Like every time I try to do something, he's got to fucking outdo me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, Scott he's 100. He's all 10,
awesome.
10 toes down, bro.
Yeah, we try and just,
nice. That was nice.
Good vibes, bro. That's all.
nice.
That's
And
how it
that's
is.
the shops, right? Good
Yeah,
Vibrations.
Good Vibrations Inc. That's, the name of our studios. That's what we, try and strive for. I'm not a non-tattoo artist-owned studio. I mean, I go in and tattoo, and I've been body piercing for almost as long as I've been tattooing, trained by some of the best people that graduated from Gauntlet. So I know how to pierce. So I do both. I've trained people how to do both. I sometimes offer apprenticeships.
And you've expanded, right? So I mean, it's really cool that you're able to then pass on to an apprentice the piercing as well, right? To make them a double threat. And it sounds like you're like, oh, I want to get my fingers in all things. They attract you. You gravitate towards doing a lot. So then you went from piercing and tattooing and being a shop owner to the aftercare and now numbing care and
the Ikonik
numbing cream. So what's going on with
Ikonik
that?
was like a dream that started a little over 4 years ago with myself, my wife, and a couple of our other friends. We were actually in Hawaii, and we were talking about my business partner and friend Mark Gowers. He was getting a tattoo, his very first one from Sean at Tattoolicious in Waikiki, and they're like family to us. And he used some numbing cream, and like partway through, he was like, "Man, I felt the thing the whole time." And he's into, all the skincare and all the stuff like that. So he's like, I wonder if we can make something that like is going to outdo all these other products. And I was like, there's a lot of products out there. And then, and I'm the tattoo artist, the whole technical stuff I wasn't into at first. Now I am, this many years in, and then producing these products because we've patented or we've made products that are now going to change how every artist looks at the numbing cream. Our numbing cream does not change the skin. It doesn't change the texture. It doesn't make your blood actually stop flowing. It just puts your cells to sleep. And when they wake up happy. They don't wake up and get inflamed like all these other numbing solutions or creams do. And that's why people get hypersensitive right after they get it. And then they go to try and reapply it and it burns or whatever. So having Al, our so-called, I call him our genius, He makes and produces the most cleanest products that go through the FDA. And he makes products for lots of companies. He was the man who the United States military used to make all of their wound care, combat stuff, everything in field hospitals. He's the man that invented all the formulas for all the gels, the wound, like stop bleeds. Like, that's him.
Let me ask you something real quick, because I'm listening and just I hear a little bit of your stories behind, and just you've been very, very old school in the industry, long time. We're from the time that just all this numbing situation, it didn't existed.
Yeah.
Why you think like the industry reached now this point that a numbing solution or a cream is needed to be part of the process of getting a tattoo? When tattooing, it was always the rite of passage, you need to hurt.
That's right.
Because
society's weak.
So,
That's a good one.
It's a sign of the times that we're living, that things are getting a little bit softer or changing. Or what is your idea behind the numbing? Because I started tattooing in 1982. We were like a speed and Vaseline back in the day.
Dry heal.
So dry healing, And if it hurts,
Yep, it hurts.
It's better. You're going to look even better. So now, what is this concept about? You cannot feel the pain of getting tattooed.
I mean, it's it's just like tattoos. They're for some people and they're not for others. Some people want to use numbing cream. Some people want to sit through and feel the tattoo.
So the numbing cream is open the door for the others.
It's for people that are afraid that first time, and it's kind of funny because like we never had, the most I ever used was like Vaseline or something like that, over the last couple of years. I wasn't into the numbing creams or stuff like that because of seeing the results of what happened after a tattoo healed or during the healing process. And that's why when, the numbing cream was not our first product that we decided to make. That came along after a lot of research and a lot of testing. That being said, it seems like, for example, a lot of people are a little more softer on it. They want to get tattooed, but they're afraid to get tattooed. And no matter what the tattoo artist tells them, oh, it's not going to hurt. They can have 10 friends with them. Oh, it's going to be this. They're going to go through that process, and it's going to, their brain's running a mile a minute. And they're thinking, okay, is this going to hurt? Is this not going to hurt? And then if they have this option for it to not feel so bad, I think it's kind of one of those things now that's like, an option for somebody to do. We know, like all of us, we're diehards. We're going to get tattooed. I mean, we're all fully tattooed. I've never used a numbing product on my body ever, And
I don't think I ever would.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
And that's the thing is like,
endure the pain.
Yeah. And
that's what it's about.
Then it's kind of like this curiosity thing. Well, does this stuff really work? And like, I've seen lots of results of others. And, just for example, it's not just because it's our product. I'm a tattoo artist. I want to make sure this actually works without screwing up the skin, screwing up the
during
ink.
The process. I see a lot of a shit show.
A red ink will turn bloody red when it heals. A blue will turn ugly when it heals.
The skin, the consistency of leather when you
and that's
tattooing.
Where technology comes in. And I love technology.
I like the word.
And when I saw
the tattoo industry.
And going from version 1 to version like 7.9.2, whatever of our product, I was like, wow, this is really cool. And once I start listening to how it actually works and then the ingredients, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a game changer. It's nothing like that's anything else that's out there. Everybody has their ingredients. Everybody uses the same ones, or they use a mixture of those same ones. And there's only one you should use and mix it with these other things so that it doesn't stop blood flow. Blood flow is the biggest thing that changes skin consistency. No blood, it gets soft and floppy and there's nothing going on. Mm-hmm. But it's almost like if you took a nap, when you go to sleep and you take a nap, when you wake up, how do you feel? Good. That's what our product does.
And when it comes down to it with the numbing cream, it sounds like what makes a great one is that, the blood flow doesn't stop. And so many of them just are stopping the blood flow, and hence that's kind of their magic sauce. But in the end,
because a lot of people will take and they'll add epinephrine, and that's very dangerous to a lot of people. You got to watch. Some people can't even take. It's a very bad product to mix in, and it's just like any product that's out there. They put the label on it. They put the warning label on it. If something happens and whatever. But now what was it? Maybe 6-8 months ago, the FDA sent out letters to every company that produced the numbing cream. Even Vaseline got hit. And they had to stop production. They had to take it off. You couldn't, and actually technically as a supplier, you weren't even supposed to sell it until they got their stuff over to the FDA, and FDA would start the process with them.
And you guys are FDA approved.
We are the first.
Cool.
First certified, first approved, first cert number.
Nice. Nice. And then what, you also do the aftercare, not just the numbing cream. So
yeah.
What makes a great aftercare? Because I think we've all been courted with the idea of creating our own, and and just you just sell it in your shop. I mean, we even have one, right? But we don't really sell it. It's like, thing. Oh, great, we got it. That's cool. I don't think we make any money from it. Like, so what actually has them stand out? What makes an aftercare stand out?
That's really a tough question, because even when I started, he said, and other artists said, oh man, even Jeremy, remember Jeremy from Sullen? He was like, yeah, man, we just thought it was going to be just another aftercare, because there's so many popping up. There's like, I would say I see online a new one every couple weeks of these.
We have one called Achilles Heels. Yeah. Right. And the idea is that it's the yarrow plant, which is named Achilles. So we're like, oh, this is great. We got a bunch of shops. We don't sell any of that. It doesn't do anything for us personally. Yeah. So it was almost like an adventure, and like, it was an ego stroke, really. Yeah. It was like, ooh, we got our own stuff. But, is anybody knocking down our door for it? No. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what do you think really makes a great aftercare product? Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing that I learned so far was the ingredients, and having ingredients that's not going to like really mess with the human body. You have to remember, people, they get up, they walk around, they put all this stuff on their bodies. They don't remember that you breathe through your entire body. You don't breathe through just your nose and your mouth. Your skin breathes. So girls get up. And it's funny, I always say this to girls, I was like, and they have all this makeup on. I'm like, man, you got all kinds of rocks all over your face. And they're like, what? I'm like, do you realize that all makeup that's made in the world today, except for one, starts off as a rock? It's ground up sandstone and different types of rock. They add dyes and coloring and stuff like that and powder it. And it's powdered like that. Talc and all these things they add to it. The only company in the world that has a patent on liquid color has been around forever, and they had commercials all through the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. L'Oreal liquid color. They're the only company in the world that has an HLC liquid color, along with, in our industry, National Tattoo Supply had an HLC color line. Liquid homogenized color. It's a patented color. That's why nobody will ever be able to make that in our industry. When Dawn and Flow and National and all that, it's all closed down. That went with them.
Yeah, National, I remember, yeah.
Yeah, but they had the first HLC liquid color. So it comes down to ingredients. Our Aftercare is a daily. You can use it on your face. You can use it wherever, but it's also an aftercare. It has hyaluronic acid. It has stem cell regeneratives in it. We have very high end, which is really crazy. We spend a lot on our product ingredients, and we try and stay competitive priced with everybody. So yeah, it's not so much of, oh yeah, we're in it for the money. Every company needs to make money. That's the point of being in business. You need to make money to stay going and all that. But when we created this company, we wanted products that were for the artists. Everything we have done has been in a concentrated form for the artists. So they're not having to go buy every couple weeks this next product. A lot of things I learned about lotions and this type of skincare industry, being around these people that are some of the top in the industry, is they're in business to make money. So there's this thing called saturation time and duration time. How quick it goes into your skin and how long it lasts. Well, a lot of these companies, they have very long, they want it to sit on top of the skin so it feels smooth and silky. And it feels so good. Okay. And then it goes into the skin, and then it has a short duration time. And then you have to reapply. Oh, my skin's still dry.
So they're actually kind of hacking the science so that
basically
you're using a lot more product than you really need because they want you to.
So we reverse that.
They want you to get addicted to it.
We completely reverse that. Every one of my products, down to the smallest drop of stencil gel to the smallest drop of Cosmic Cleanser or the Cosmic Soap, it literally goes such a long way that it should last you double or triple what a normal bottle should use. And that's ingredients. And a lot of people are just cutting the price of their, they're just trying to make money. So they're just putting in cheaper ingredients. Everybody's like, oh, we're going to put shea butter. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to put this oil. Okay. So one thing I've always learned and said to people since I was a little kid, what do you not put on an oil fire?
Water.
So why in the hell do we put shit all over our bodies that says oil, 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 and we're water? What does oil and water do? They don't mix. Why does your face break out? Why does your skin break out from putting all this stuff on your skin? Because you're clogging your pores. It can't breathe. You can't breathe.
So, basically, because it's a lot of people that we have watching that it doesn't tattoo, it doesn't belong to the industry. It's a lot of civilians, like I say. These civilians think, like, for example, Aftercare is something that magically is going to heal your tattoo in a fastest amount of time. Let's define the concept of the Aftercare. What basically does yours, or like you say, there is thousands now popping out.
Ours, you're looking basically between the time you get tattooed, you're looking at a 3 to 10 day max period. Usually it's between 3 and 7 days. Because of the skin scale regeneratives and the hyaluronic acid.
Okay.
We don't use a bunch of oils. We use so there's a lot of people use beeswax. There's natural beeswax. There's synthetics beeswax. But then there's also this little tiny part of where when the bee goes into the flower and, pollinates in the little part of the flower, that epistle or whatever, there's this pure little bit of juice in there.
Is that sexual tick that you mentioned? No, I'm just kidding.
But it's...
You start with the bees, the flower,
the
then
bees,
juices.
the flowers.
The birds and
the birds and the
bees.
bees.
When I was a kid.
Is that what it is?
But
Yeah.
seriously,
Anyway.
it's wild technology to me because this is all new to me. I'm just learning all of these things of each thing that goes along with one of each of our products. Because I'm like I said, I'm the tattoo artist. My wife's like, oh, here, try this. They want you to do this and do. I'm not like, and then I start learning and I'm going, okay. But then when I learn the technology of the product, I'm like, this is really cool how they're literally using the purest parts of the purest ingredients of these things to put together to make these products that are going to heal a tattoo without losing saturation. And saturation is the biggest thing with tattoos. You're water. We're all water. We're putting ink on us. What happens as we heal? It dilutes the ink. So how do you stop the dilution and keep it so vibrant? And that's having the skin heal fast enough so that you're not pushing water through. Because if anything gets on your skin, your body automatically pushes water through to get it out, right? So if you have something that's on the skin that hydrates it, lets it heal fast, but lets it breathe, that's the key to healing the human body fast. It's like tricking the human body. You remember Scott Allen and Electrum Rinse? And I use Electrum Rinse. And what was it before that with Joey and Hamilton? And it was, they had the same thing, that cleanser. My friend Scott Allen, he's the inventor of it. It's like, I think it's called hypochloric acid or something like that. It tricks the human body. It's pure electricized water that tricks the human body into healing 3 times faster. When I found out that technology, I was like, holy shit. Like, what? And what's crazy is, I don't know if you ever tried it. Buy a bottle of Electrum Rinse, take it and sit it outside on a sunny day, put it in a room, it don't matter. Open the bottle, put it on you. It's going to be ice cold. It's crazy how this stuff works. But you put it on a tattoo, I guarantee you, 3 days later, that thing is peeled and healed.
So, again, just to go back to the Aftercare is not only just to get your tattoo shiny for the picture. Yours is healing.
Yes, healing.
It's healing, real healing.
Real healing.
And the speed of the healing is faster than all the brands out there or just whatever.
A lot of brands that are out there have a overabundance of oils and butters and shea butters in a larger amounts. So the skin doesn't have as much. It will coat the skin, it will smother the skin, but it's not going to let that skin breathe. If your skin can't breathe, it's not going to heal.
For example, with your product specifically, when after any days, Sanidon, 1, 2, 3 days, the application of your product is immediately after, you have a waiting time?
If you were getting a regular tattoo and let's say somebody didn't use Sanoderm, or even if they did use a derm product, the minute that comes off, you would go straight to the aftercare lotion.
Right away.
Right away.
Okay.
Right away. A lot of, people, a lot of the derms that are out there, that's become a big thing over the last, few years.
I see a lot with the derms. I'm seeing a lot of reactions also too.
And
to the glue.
Yes.
Or the derms.
There's some out there, some have already reformulated because of those things. There's a couple out there that have already reformulated, and that's trial and error. It's because in the medical world, burn victims and all the things, even when you have surgeries in the medical field, Adaptix, that company has a patent on, Tegaderm.
Yeah.
Okay. Something can't be breathable and waterproof. It's impossible.
I get tired of saying that because it never makes sense to me. I repeat that like I just look. You can shower, it's breathable, but you can shower, it's waterproof. I feel like an idiot saying that, because it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense because
what the fuck I'm talking about,
if it breathed and it was
exactly, or it breathes or it's permeable or impermeable. It's just
and they say that there's some of them that have there's a technology where they have the dotting where it's like almost a full dot except for a little piece taken out, so that when it's on your skin, if something's in it, it'll let it come out. But then if something goes on, it keeps the flap closed. I don't go for that technology either.
Like an exhaust.
It's kind of like a little exhaust
like a tractor
thing.
exhaust cap.
There's a lot of different ones out there, but there are some that heal quite well. I'm kind of always been not a fan of using stuff like that. I'm not big on covering tattoos. I do really solid poly work and then really saturated color work. And sometimes looking at how things heal with the derms, I think a color saturation and color scale just drops dramatically from the day you do it to the day it heals.
Yeah.
So I've kind of, I've been doing this 30 some years of my life, and I've seen everything, every product from the beginning of this industry. And looking at these derms, you're taking and letting the plasma heal it, but you're also letting your plasma sit on top of ink, and ink and liquid create a lighter color.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. Same with the numbing cream, right? Is that everyone here owns shops, and so all these things come and go, and there's new inventions, and the optics to look at it from is, does it help us get more clients through the door?
Yeah,
right. I mean, that's with the numbing cream. To what you were saying before, Gabe, it's like, question is, does it actually have people who would be a little timid about getting a tattoo and book an appointment? And when they see the derms, or they're like, yo, that's cool, I can then get a tattoo and go to work the next day. I mean, some stuff sucks, but in the end, anything that's driving more people, into the shop to get beautiful work, to keep everything going.
Yep. As long
there's
as
a degree of that, that's
the
helpful.
Work good, and there's no problems with the product, then that's a good thing. A lot of people in my studio, they use each artist uses, everybody uses something different. And then some gravitate to what everybody else uses because they've been seeing what's going on. And, so it's kind of, like I said, every artist does their thing, and it's trial by error, but they might have good results with it, but then they might have 2 or 3 bad results with it and then switch to another product. And then they have problems with that. Then they're waiting for the next product. And then there's the people that just go from product to product to product to product to product. We see that in the industry. They're like, oh, wait, there's this new list. Oh, wait, hold on. There's that new that. And they try it for a few weeks, and then they don't like it. Then they want to go, and that's kind of how it is. There's a lot of products out there. What's that new product? Ink Beetle that's out. Yeah. That's a new thing. It's liquid derm. Everybody's has this derm you put on the skin, and you have to peel it off and sit there and fight with it.
Basically, it's that liquid bandage.
And this one is
basically, it's
like
a liquid bandage.
Kind of
it's basically liquid.
My thought to that is, let's just say for some reason they didn't put it on correctly, or it wasn't in the most environmental or sterile area,
and you're locking.
Now you locked all the germs, all the microorganisms that could have been floating around. You locked them in.
Yeah.
But I think an aftercare is important.
Yeah,
aftercares are important because, and I hate to say it like this, but customers don't listen.
No,
we'll give them an instruction sheet. We'll give them a verbal thing, and then we'll have a website with the instruction sheet pasted on there, and they'll call you 10 minutes later and say, what do I put on here? If they're nice enough or smart enough to call. The fact that he has something, whether it's his or whether it's anybody else's, that he knows this work. He knows it works. He's used it 100 times. It has no negative effects. Is one more thing to improve the tattoo industry for people to heal and not for us to get a negative image on somebody not following directions.
Right, because then they leave you a 2-star review, and it's because they didn't follow directions.
And that's the first thing we ask them. Did you buy our Aftercare? Even when I didn't have Ikonik, it's even on our disclaimers. You know, did you purchase this? No, refused. Because if somebody says, oh, my tattoo healed this way and blah, 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 and we're like, well, what Aftercare? Well, I used Lubriderm. We're like, we didn't recommend that to you. We gave you an Aftercare sheet. It says, you know, what to use. We sell the recommended Aftercare. You didn't get it. And, you know, they're like some of the things that people use. But another thing that's also a big thing that has changed over the years is ink. Ink is also like the hugest thing with healing now.
Yeah.
Like the ink is
Better.
So much better ingredients and formula, and it is the foundation of how your tattoo is going to heal. If you're using some crappy ink or some homemade mixed up
No
ink,
more Pelican. Ah, man.
Only vegan.
Pelican heals good with Vaseline.
But Scott said the magic word.
What?
Technology.
technology.
The needles are sharper.
Yeah, everything is
The ink is
evolving,
better.
and
The machines don't hit as hard.
it makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
Or you can adjust them to hit how you want
you know,
at the fly at turning a knob. You know what I mean, or clicking it. Before it was adjusting and all. You know, oh,
It makes
gosh.
a lot of sense that the aftercare is evolving also too at the same time that in the industry the inks are evolving, the components of the inks and also the way to do tattoos is not the same like it's probably now today. Do a tattoo with a 7 Magnum in a pen machine that put out just an old coil machine with some magnums. Everything is changing and evolving, so still makes sense to me. The aftercare I need to be evolving also too, according to the times. Well, I'm still like just with the numbing. I don't know the numbing. I have like a natural aversion.
Are you going to
that.
carry the numbing cream?
Oh fuck no!
Right, yeah, you're not, right? You
but
personally.
I'll give him the tube. He'll try it once and he'll be like, "What the hell?"
I'm willing to try the aftercare because I'm sold with the aftercare.
It
You
heals
know?
the clients quicker.
But the
makes it
numbing
always
cane is
better.
just for me. It's a matter of just.
But you tattoo. So if you tattoo, you're gonna you'll like the aftercare and all that. But when you try our actual glide, our glide's a game changer.
You see, I prefer that the glides, you know, for tattooing.
And let's say you forget to give your client forgets, or you're out on the road or whatever. So we make our glide. Our glide has a natural anti-inflammatory that comes from a plant.
So at the same
Okay.
time that you're tattooing,
So you can
is
be tattooing
helping.
stretch marks. You can be tattooing all the way up here in the shoulder and armpit. And you know how when you run a mag or a line there, that thing gets inflamed or whatever right there? You take a little bit of that ointment, rub it on there, wait about 3 minutes. I guarantee you're going to be able to tattoo that whole entire area,
Really?
no problem.
Well,
No problem.
I know you guys won't realize this, but I'm over 40. So it's just like,
You just had a birthday. You just crossed over.
in fact,
You're over 40. I'm
I
53.
thought he was 38.
I'm
but, you know.
53.
well, I'm 55. That's over 40. All right. So
On the dating app that we
that's
met
right.
on,
I
you were
forgot.
only
You are
32.
2 years older
I'm
than
not
me.
even mentioning that I'm 58.
so
Oh, wait. Okay. So
Totally
he's
bien, totally
I know,
bien.
right? What the hell's
Guys,
going on
what the
here?
fuck?
unfortunately, I haven't met my tattoo limit yet. And when you first get into this industry, you get hot and you're like, I got to get this, I got to get that. And as the real estate starts ending and you have less of it, you start to get more decisive on what you want. So unfortunately, I left the most painful parts for last, like a fucking moron. So now, and I hate to say this publicly, but I'm gonna have to grab some of his numbing cream because I'm kind of scared to get my ditch done in my armpit or to get my stomach or my ribs done because those are the parts that I have left.
Remember that at the beginning of the conversation we were mentioning there is people that is soft.
And people who really need it in order to
So
get tattooed.
numbing.
When he says soft, he means I exfoliate. All right,
Oh, you're exfoliating. Oh, you motherfucker. For real?
Yeah.
You were my hero.
Ikonik makes this,
What the
this
fuck?
exfoliation
Jesus.
thing now.
Okay.
It's called before.
I'll be like,
it's
ow.
called pre-tattoo. Chico's onto something.
So you're using the numbing.
Well, I'm
he
going
saying?
to. I
You
haven't
would.
used it yet. I did use something back in the day when I tattooed on somebody, and I'm not gonna say it was Hurricane, but what you would call it, it healed awful. So ever since then, I've been totally non-numbing.
Let's say like your numbing solution. What is it need to be like for example, this shitty numbing solution that we talked just now, that need to be applied before, wrapped in plastic like a sandwich, and be 2 hours just
You gotta have
getting
sage
What?
and
It's
some,
the same
some
thing.
incense. And how do you make it work?
Okay, there you go. So that is
So the
right now
biggest
it's
thing,
better.
the biggest thing that I said to Al was I was like, I need this to work within between 30 minutes to an hour max.
Orale.
So between, well, I'll just tell you exactly what happened. The very last formula that came, and he was like, this is it. This is the formula. So I have this tattoo on my arm right here from Jimmy Litwalk. And right here on this part, I put a little bit of the numbing cream. And we started a timer. And at 38 minutes, I was like, I need this off my skin, because it literally was, I felt like it was frozen. It was cold. It was just,
Really?
it was ice cold to me. And cleaned it off, took a 15 mag. Didn't feel anything.
No shit.
How long does it last?
1 hour later on the clock.
No shit.
2 hours later on the clock. 3 hours later on the clock.
Oh, you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
3.5 later, I was like, let me try it. And I went about 3.5 hours. And that's when I could start. I was taking my finger going like this. And you kind of start to feel a little bit of, more of the
Pressure.
Not pressure, but more of the pinchy from your nail and stuff.
Okay.
And I ran the nail. I was like, I'm starting to feel a little bit. Now that was on me. A couple weeks later, we had David Rabinowitz. He did a huge chest piece in Raleigh. This guy sat for...
That was last year.
Yeah, I think it was last year,
I was
Raleigh.
there. Yeah.
This guy sat for 7 hours and literally was sitting there like this. Oh no, what was and it was
all
the
ribs?
other guy that also got one that same day too from Johnny Awesome. Johnny Awesome did a big chest piece. They had 2 chest pieces going on, and this guy literally got like this huge piece up here from Johnny, and then David was working on. I forget, it was like a. I'm trying to remember what the piece was he was working on. Anyways, long story short, this guy sat for 4 hours or so and didn't feel anything. This other guy was sitting there and they were like putting ink caps on his chest and tattooing and all this. And we were like, you don't feel any of this? And he's like, no. It was almost after like 7 hours that the guy was like, oh, okay, I'm starting to feel it. And then Johnny took our numbing spray and sprayed him once. Our numbing spray is the same as the numbing cream, but it's very potent. So we, a lot of people are used to Vasecan. They just spraying it everywhere, wiping it everywhere. We tell people, you take one spray, you spray it on, you wipe it, you wrap it with a piece of Saran wrap. 10 minutes. You ain't feeling stuff for another 2 or 3 hours.
So it's not like the old one where you had to break the skin first.
So the cream is, you put the cream on and you would tattoo with that and the skin's already going to be broken. Let's say, because everybody's different. It's not going to last the same for you as it lasts for him. Everybody's skin's going to be different. So let's say 3 hours in, you start to feel it and you're like, oh man, yeah, I'm starting to feel it. Oh, it's getting kind of raw, whatever. Well, take the spray and spray 1 spritz of that spray on there.
And the spray won't pull the skin? Because sometimes it pulls it and then you get that elastic.
We have the exact same
the consistency
ingredients.
Doc Martens.
Yeah, it feels like,
Yeah.
it feels
It's like you tattooing
It's
Doc
tattooing
Martens.
fake
Yep.
skin all
Yep.
of a sudden. It's like,
Both products are identical except for the base.
okay, one's oil-based, one's water-based.
One is cream, the other one is water.
Okay.
We don't.
He doesn't like
No,
We're not-
remember.
We're not big on the oil.
No,
the other Dr.
There's
Martin
other
over here doesn't
oils.
like
There's
oil.
other oil. There's some oils, little minute amounts that go into some products, but nothing that's going to be
As
like
carriers.
that's going to be the big binder carrier and all
You know
that.
what is the water for the oil when you fry
And
your platanitos?
that's the other thing too. That's if you open
Olive
up
oil,
most
yeah.
people's products, like you can go to anybody's product and you open up the product and look at it. Just look at the color. You can tell what's in it, but what's over in it. You can see most of them are on that more not whitish clear. It's going more
Yellowish.
towards a orangey yellow or that kind of, that's because
Even
of,
in the consistency, you probably can tell if it's
And the-
oil based.
and
no?
the consistency, it'll be chunky. It'll come out and slap down good. You'll put it on the skin and it starts melting right away. That's because of the oils.
Oily.
And it just starts getting oily everywhere. A lot of companies over all the years, and we know we've been in this industry a long time, they came out with one product and then, a while later they came out with another and then a little while another. we decided that if we were going to create something iconic, we wanted to drop an entire line of products that it was for the artist and the client, and in multiple sizes. Not like, oh, we're going to come out with it. And we are right now, like our cosmic cleanser, or cosmic soap, we have it in a regular size bottle now, but we are going to make an 8 ounce. But we came out with multiple sizes for the artists right off the bat. We travel. So like our Glide, you have the regular size big Glide, but then we also sell boxes of 50 packs of the smaller ones. So you can travel. You can tattoo with it. You're doing tattoos with it. You get done. Let's say you forgot your Aftercare. You can take our actual Glide and give it to them, and it'll heal that tattoo just like our Aftercare will. So all of our products are cohesive. They all mix together perfectly. There's not going to be one chemical in one that's going to interact with the other.
Interacting, in a bad way with another one.
Everything's cohesive. And that was the biggest thing we strive for, is that every product that we come out with, even in the future, right now we're working on a really crazy technology for a piercing Aftercare spray. We want to do things better and create things that are going to make this so much easier for not only the artist, but also for the clients. Have a line of products that everything works for everything. Well, that's good. I don't want to have a B product. Understood. It's either you put all A's. It's got to be all A products.
The account is people. It's a tattoo artist. It's people from the industry creating products to facilitate what he's doing, what we're all doing.
Not just people from the industry. People
legit,
from the industry that care.
There's a lot of motherfuckers out there making a coin out of the industry. They don't even have tattoos.
Right. So and there's over 60,000 tattoo artists. To Chico's point, not small percentage of them actually care about really getting something deep. But also, they have to be at a stage in their life where they have that kind of focus that you have, right? In the first 10, 15 years, right? They're not really thinking that. You've been in it now 3 decades, right? So your mind is just like expanded, and you've lived in so many different places, and you're a dad, right? You're an adult, right? So you're thinking much broader. And I think I want to nickname him Dr. Martin. When it comes to science, he's telling us about. I got the formula, I got the FDA, I got maybe get an honorary degree, somewhere.
I said, I do all the tattoo stuff. Who do you usually talk to? My wife. My wife does all that.
Look,
my wife is like
have something that we don't have. Coherency.
I thought he said his wife.
We don't have it.
No, but
account of that.
You know what it is? I think that, and I speak for most of us, maybe 80% of us, because 20% don't give a fuck. But I
sorry
think,
to interrupt. You're gonna get me emotional now?
Yeah, obviously.
Always. You know it's not a good episode unless you almost cry.
I just think that we all realize that it gets to a point where your tattooing career is seen more days past than days to come. So what are you going to do? How are you going to make this better? Unfortunately, the people who are coming in now didn't go through what we went through. And not that we're better or they're worse. It's just different. We paid a different price. We couldn't even get in for monetary price. It was a closed thing. You either learned the way they taught you or you learned on your own.
Yep.
But those were the only 2 ways. Now there's schools and videos, and it's an easier gameplay. You understand? Everything's
and if
easier.
you own a shop, you get 1 million messages a week. Do you guys do apprenticeships?
Yeah, for sure. Well, and there's rotary machines, right? Versus, you guys had to make them.
Well,
right?
let's not even get into
there was always rotary machines.
Okay, but in the 80s, you had to.
I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna say who, but somebody gave me a machine when I first started, and it was a rotary. It was called a Jet France.
I remember. Bruno in France.
So
those machines.
My first machine was a rotary machine.
Sure, I mean,
but you understand?
The wireless pen machines,
you bring a lot of memories.
But
to me, the merit, it's in the industry. It's been on the industry for
30 years,
very long time. He tattoos. He has shops. He has tattoo artists, which you're dealing with tattoo artists. We know that's one of the worst things that can happen to you as a shop owner. But
tell me about it. Jeez,
it comes to this idea of facilitating the way that the tattoo is gonna heal, unless you're a heavy-handed motherfucker. But there is nothing that you can do with that. But the numbing, the glide to what you're working, the aftercare, people from the industry. So I think, like I just said, should be help to promote inside the industry what it's doing, at the end of the day, it's benefit for all of us.
Not
And
only that,
some motherfucker, like I said, outside the industry that he doesn't know anything about it. He just got some
He saw
chemists
some
here
statistics, did a
and
little
another one in
research, right?
Hialeah and mix a couple of things, and just come out with an aftercare. You know how many people I've seen during the years coming out with aftercare, for fuck's sakes.
but
A
the thing
lot.
is, the problem is there's so many outside people coming in with aftercare. And I'm not saying that their stuff is bad. You understand? But instead of gatekeeping so much, why don't we support each other?
Exactly.
You understand? If you want to gatekeep, why not put up the gate from somebody who has nothing to do with the industry and keep them out of the industry instead of like gatekeeping against our own industry?
Yeah,
You know, it's just like-
what you get keeping, against the industry.
True.
You know,
That is true.
It doesn't make sense to me. It's like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. He knows what the fuck he's doing. And if he didn't know, he found the people that could show him exactly
If he
what
didn't know, it sounds like it.
Yeah,
but
he sounds like a doctor.
It sounds
to me,
like he knows
you
what he's
know?
talking
But
about.
he got
he's-
cold. I got
But
to
he's
say-
got Al.
I can tell you to take care of
You
that.
understand what I'm saying? He's got Al. So whatever he didn't know, Al is there to
Yeah.
explain to him.
Yeah.
And then he can inform Al, but I understand what you're saying, but what I need is this. So then Al goes,
Well, and so you have multiple shops, right? And
Yep.
so you got a lot to manage, right? So aside from everything we're talking about, right? Other fathers who are tattoo artists have a million things going on, who have shops. How do you make it flow in the week where you just keep it going? You seem healthy and vibrant enough. Like,
Yeah.
how do you make that happen while being?
A very crazy schedule with no sleep. No.
No, I mean,
No, but honestly, like
With maximum effort.
Oh yeah, every day is 0 to 100. Just every day I got it, every day while we're here. If we're not on the road with the Ikonik and conventions, then, with the shops, it's dealing with getting everything for the shops. 1, shop 2, shop in Pennsylvania, then it's dealing with all the employees and dealing, we have, I think between the 3 studios, 36 some people that work for us. It's a lot, and with
that's
Ikonik,
a lot of
it's a lot.
but you notice he says we.
yeah, I'm hearing that too. Right.
Because he knows that just like me, if it wasn't for the wife,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
That's what I'm
that's-
hearing
yeah.
as well.
Oh, that's-
you keep
that's
saying
nice.
that, huh?
Yeah.
You know, how
That's
do you
nice.
do it all by yourself? It's kinda
Nice.
It's still, even with her, it's hard because,
That's why he
even
has a girlfriend.
my dog, my puppy, right? There's no time for anything else in this world. But
And how many kids?
1,
Okay.
yeah, and he's
He was smart.
yeah, and he just had he's 14 and a half, and he's a great kid. He's on the honor roll. He plays the violin. He does he's a total opposite of me and my wife.
It's what I see everywhere.
Complete opposite.
Everyone's kids are
Complete
straight
opposite.
edge and chill.
Yeah.
While all the rest of us,
But he,
are the opposite.
he was 20 years for Dub Massive over at Sandbar in Cocoa Beach the other night, and my kid has Mark Longnecker, a really good friend of mine, and he's been my kid's uncle since he was born. And, Mark's a DJ, and over the years, us being, with him all the time and DJ events, Kai's taken up DJing, and he was the opening DJ for Dub Massive the other night, which was freaking cool.
That's awesome.
So that was a big boost for him and cool to see. I was like, wow, I just watched my kid open up for Dub Massive. He's the youngest reggae DJ now to ever open up for this
Sounds like
show.
it, right? He's 14.
So he's 14. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see that as a dad, I'm like, because sometimes, we don't think we're the dad, we're their best friend, But it was pretty cool. But yeah, trying to do that, the shops and,
And then all the
maintain all that. The
How many
conventions.
conventions do you
Oh my
think you go
God.
to a year?
What did we do this past year? I don't know.
30, 40,
No.
80, 90?
We did a lot this past year. I would say maybe 20 something.
Okay.
This year we're doing a little less on the conventions because we're focusing on putting more money into our advertising online. We have Shopify, Amazon, all that stuff, but now it's creating commercial stuff to put on there and stuff like that.
Well, it's a big contribution, all of it, man. I think that's what we've heard today, that everything you're doing, you're trying to make a difference, and you are making a difference in the industry as a whole.
Trying.
And we all appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you. We're really trying to make a difference, put really good products out there. Plus, I mean, I've been in the industry a long time, and I hope I still have a good rep with everybody. I mean, I've always tried to be super cool with everybody, and there's a lot of cliques and a lot of things out there in our industry, and I think that's kind of really not a good thing. Like you said, if everybody stayed more organized and, focused on our industry and the people in our industry that are doing things for the industry instead of taking from the industry, I think it'll be a lot better. I think that would be a better direction, especially, for people who put on conventions and, just anybody that's involved with the community, doing something better and not being like, there's a lot of people out there too, like I said, and, Chico, everybody knows you can be friends with everybody, and then you come out and you do something like I did with Ikonik, and a lot of people now, all of a sudden, now they're haters. And I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm. Because you thought of it and they didn't.
Fuck them. Yeah. Where do we get your stuff? Come on. Exactly. We need to plan your tattoo. So we need the numbing solution. What else? The Aftercare. Where do we get it? You mentioned Amazon. So how do they get it? Come on.
Yeah, for people on the internet.
If they want to get it, they go to ikonikcare.com. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Amazon, Shopify.
Checking right now.
Ikonik.
And if you can't get it there, get it from me. I'll be one of his wholesale agents now.
So small percentage.
That's what we're also, we're looking for wholesalers. We want to get our product out there. We do have wholesalers. Papalanza started carrying us. We're working, talking with Emilio to see if we can get some of the products with Dynamic, because, certain companies have their own stuff. And then some companies want to purchase your product because it's, a better product, or they're making more sales with it, and we're trying to, get people to realize that it's here, it's not going anywhere. And we're going to keep on going and create products that are going to change every aspect of each part of the industry,
awesome.
From piercing to tattoos.
If you're getting all like Chico and getting softy, that's a numbing cream that
you see, Gabe just bought all the numbing cream you have on his phone real quick. So if anybody needs that, they gotta go. Yeah,
all the Gabe shop. His Amazon cart went from 4 items to 52 items.
Exactly. That way, Chico has to get tattooed by there, and anybody who wants to buy it has to get it. So this is how it's like insider trading, basically, from the information from Dr.
need it.
Martin.
We don't need it, but there is people like Chico that really need it. So
yeah.
No, but we really appreciate it. I mean, like I said, I've been in the industry for a long time, and lots of products out there, and there are good products out there. It's just, when it came to this with our company, we wanted to do just something better that's going to be better and heal tattoos better, heal piercings better, have stuff available for the artists that, they can use in the shop, out of the shop. When they're traveling, same thing with the clients. Clients don't have to, they can buy a small, a medium, a large. There's different sizes and different products out there from, for the consumers and the artists. And coming into 2025, we're going to be working, like I said, on our piercing, and we got another product we're keeping secret that
coming.
We got a surprise coming.
When is that surprise coming out?
Hopefully at the end of this year, maybe going into 26.
So we can do a follow-up.
Yeah, we're working on something that's taking a little while, but I think it's gonna be a
Christmas time. Let's compromise.
Yeah, maybe
Christmas time.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. If Al can,
make it happen in time.
We get it done.
But if people want an Ikonik experience, they want to come to your shops and they want to get your stuff, right? What's the best way for them to get in touch with you specifically?
They can get in touch with me at Scott Martin Tattoos on Instagram, or just call one of the studios, and they'll usually send me the message right away, and I usually get back with people pretty quick. I usually try and get back with everyone, or have the team. We have our whole team over at out in Utah that we kind of. Somebody will be interested in the product or whatever, and Carissa and them will set them up with a CRM and go through the whole thing with them and get them set up. But if, if an artist has any questions, they can contact me, message me, whatever, and I'll call you or whatever and go over any of the descriptions of the products or questions, concerns, you know. So
Awesome.
That's cool. There is people behind.
Real humans.
People in the industry. Yeah, that's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we don't have people just picking up the phone going, you know, da-da-da-da-da. You know, it's usually me, my wife. If it's overseas, it would be Mark and Sophie. And, you know, we have out in Utah at Nutravina, we have a team of people and Carissa that they do, like, prior to every show, they reach out to every artist that's at the show, that's registered for the show, and literally send, you know, an invitation to come by the booth to try the product and get free samples. And like,
Great
you know,
idea.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot we can learn from you. Dr. Martin.
Dr. Martin.
Dr. Martin.
Nah, that's all right. No doctors here. No, I'm good.
Yes. But thanks for being here.
Scotty.
Okay, Scotty. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. This was
you.
awesome.
That's
Thank you
cool.
so much.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Thank you.
And that's it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
One of the samples. Remember, if you like what we do, follow, share, and subscribe.
And if you really like what we're doing, please give us a 5-star review. It really helps.